Good evening, everyone. Severe Weather Team 9 meteorologist Nathan Chun here with a weather update. And we're going to be tracking some potential for a couple snow showers in the mix looking ahead tomorrow. Certainly going to be a blustery wind. Our temperatures hovering around the mid-upper 30s. We factor in that gusty wind, and it'll feel like it's in the 20s for a lot of this stretch. So on the cold side, and again, potential for a couple snow showers, but overall, it's a fairly quiet stretch of weather continuing here as we go through the middle of this week, and we'll track eventually a little warmer weather, but with it comes not snow, but more of a widespread rain. So without further ado, let's jump into things, starting off with your current temperatures across the Ohio Valley. Current temperatures right now residing into the 30s to 40s. High temperatures did manage to make it into the 40s today. And we saw that with our high temperatures in the 40s, we were among some rare companies so far for this month. We don't have to, remind you that it has been a cold January. It's been a sea of blues so far for January, that we've been dealing with a lot of below normal temperatures. Now, we just started to notice that pattern change here going into the end of the month. And that 38, 39, 38, it's really not too much above normal. It's more seasonable, but technically just above that average high for this time of the year. I would say today more above normal, 38, 39, 38, more of closer to normal for this time of the year. But you'll see among rare company, only 3 other days so far for the month out of 28 days that are out of 27. I would say 4 out of 28 now will have had high temperatures 40 plus. So that's why I say today was among a rare company. And here's the kicker. We can get add more to that number here leading up to the end of the month going into your Friday. Our temperature is likely not quite reaching the 40s for your Wednesday, but by Thursday, we're back in the 40s. And by Friday, we can even see high temperatures near 50 degrees. So we'll see. Can we actually manage to sneak in that 50-degree high? If we don't, we are among rare company in the fact that we just have 2003 and I believe it was 2001, the only other years looking back since 1999 where January has not registered a high temperature of at least 50 degrees. But we do have that chance going into your Friday, then a cool down Saturday. And you'll see that bit of an up-down pattern that we'll have. Nothing in terms of when we start to trend cooler will be nearly as cold as what we saw for last week. But the pattern overall is a bit up and down. And I think that can play out going into February, that the pattern is a bit up and down. But just like what we're getting over the next 10 days, when you average out these temperatures, we still come out above normal. And I think that can be the story as we go throughout your February. You'll notice a long range forecast that still favors, even as we look over the next couple of weeks and even going into the second half of February, that you'll notice the long range forecast still favoring more above normal temperatures than below. So again, we can see a bit up and down pattern going throughout this month, upcoming month into February. But overall, there's a good chance that the month ends up seasonable, if not even above normal for temperatures. And with respect to what we had for a lot of this month, that is much warmer looking ahead into your February. Now, that does not mean that we're not going to be dealing with any snow, because while it is likely a bit up and down pattern, it's no surprise that with the up and down pattern is an active pattern, and no surprise that we're dealing with good odds for wetter than normal weather going into your February as well. So, well, that being said, the fact that we'll deal with likely some warmer temperatures next month with respect to January does not mean we're not dealing with any snow. With an active pattern, we just need to get on the cold side of one of these systems, and we could be dealing with more snow coming our way. So, yes, we certainly have a chance to see more snow going into your February, especially with an active pattern that will likely be in place for tomorrow. Renee says snow showers causing a dusting tomorrow. So let's jump into that now. We started to cover temperatures. Let's jump into that potential for some precipitation. Now, we're looking at a couple rounds here. The first one will be tomorrow, where we can have some snow showers return. The second one will be into your Friday, and that will be with more of a steady rain. So we'll deal with 2 rounds of precipitation going throughout this weekend. So jump into your future cast. Again, things are quiet tonight, and that potential for a snow shower will be returning tomorrow, likely holding off until we get more so after the morning commute. So there's 6 a.m. We're still likely dry at this point. We fast forward a bit more. There's 9 a.m. So you notice at that point, we're starting to see that snow showers across the northeastern portion of the Buckeye State. And then they are late morning. This is our potential then for some snow showers in our area that will carry over going through the afternoon. And then by early on Wednesday night, these snow showers will come to an end. From there, we are looking dry going into your Thursday and spotting even some sunshine breaking out. Going as we go throughout your Thursday, by then Thursday night, our skies will turn cloudy out ahead of this time. You can see it will be in terms of a chilly rain, and we'll deal with that rain occasionally going throughout Friday. And we're certainly dealing with a lot more rain Friday than we are going to be dealing with snow tomorrow, because with our temperatures residing around mid upper 30s tonight through tomorrow, there's little variation in these temperatures. They're really hovering around mid upper 30s for a lot of the stretch tonight going through tomorrow. That while it's cold enough to keep that precipitation type as snow, likely not going to mount to much in terms of accumulation. We're likely looking at little or none in terms of snow accumulation tomorrow. We saw a lot of the snow not even come to fruition today. Most of it stayed to our north and east, and that's where most of it will likely reside again going into tomorrow. Not to say we cannot see a snow shower. We certainly can, but in terms of anything that could be more impactful, probably stays towards our east and north as we go through tomorrow. So little or no snow accumulation, temperatures mid upper 30s. We're likely looking at either dry or wet road conditions. I don't foresee any impacts to travel going through the daytime tomorrow. Maybe at most some slick spots tomorrow night, but again, this looks very minimal when it comes to any impacts and overall accumulations as well. There's not a whole lot. Again, a few snow showers in the mix, but I wouldn't be anticipating anything that's going to be a big impact. Certainly nothing that's going to bring a lot of accumulation. If we're seeing something measurable, it's likely going to even stay within that coating to a half of an inch. And that's it. So again, nothing too crazy coming our way for tomorrow. Now, the rainfall amounts, like I mentioned, are going to be a lot more than the potential for snow. We're dealing with a lot more rain Friday than snow for tomorrow. And we could be dealing with a good about half-inch of rain across the area. And there's that potential for some locations even up to about 3/4 of an inch. But at least a good around a half-inch of rain coming our way as we go throughout Friday. That's going to eat up a lot of that snow that remains on the ground. I know a lot of it's already beginning to melt across the area, but what does remain, further will melt with that rain, and our temperatures that reside well in the 40s and near 50. That's a combination to get a lot of this snow melt. And we'll be watching at that point. We could start to break up more of that ice in the river, especially get that flow behind it from this rain. And then we'll be watching for that potential for the possibility of ice jam as we do extend throughout Friday. So not to say it's a guarantee, but that is something we're just going to be watching for. Any of that ice that's starting to break up along the Ohio River flowing downstream can build up and get caught up, build up a dam, if you will. Then that ice jam can start to cause some flooding in spots. So that is one thing we'll watch for with our rain that falls. In terms of the actual rainfall amounts, likely not excessive enough that we're dealing with widespread flooding concerns, thankfully, but still enough to certainly make for a soggy Friday across the Ohio Valley. And again, near term, something we haven't talked about yet, but here near term as well, we still have that breeze in place. Wind gusts are going to be in excess of 30 miles per hour tonight, tomorrow. So you still have that gusty wind in place. Those wind chills will be in the 20s during the stretch, despite our temperatures in the 30s, hovering around the mid upper 30s. The winds will then diminish Wednesday night into Thursday. That's as high pressure builds in the area, winds diminishing. We'll notice a good amount of sunshine Thursday. Clouds will spill back in the area late into the day. That's out ahead of your rain Friday. Cloudy skies, again, soggy, wet Friday. It's going to start to turn into muddy mess as well, right? We're getting some of that snow melt in this rain, and it turns into mud. It's just not ideal. Friday. It's not an ideal Friday. It's the best way to put it. Not looking good. But by Saturday, we'll dry back up going in the weekend. Turn a bit colder. Highs will be back in the 30s Saturday, 40 Sunday. The weather looks to stay quiet then early on next week. Temperature's not too far off from what we're dealing with this weekend, early next week, and we'll deal with those temperatures and picking back up. We're likely to climb back well in the 40s, near 50 going into next Friday. And you can see, again, it's just a bit up and down here for the pattern overall, looking into that first week of February. We start off the new month on Saturday, and we end it with the temperatures almost near 50. What a contrast. We end the month with high temperatures near 50, a far cry from what we've seen throughout the majority of January. But Mother Nature brings in one mild day for the month into Friday, right as we wrap up the month. Shelley says, thanks for keeping us updated. Thank you. Thank you. So, Renee, the snow shower is causing a dusting tomorrow. It's possible. And that's probably about it for most locations. Yes, it is possible, but not too much at all, Renee. Yeah, not too much at all. It's going to be impactful going through your Wednesday. And then again, Friday, the rain is probably going to be more impactful than the snow, just in the sense that, we have to deal with it. You'll want the rain gear handy for your Friday, as it is occasional. It's just going to be one of those, it's mild, but just one of those muddy, damp days. With that snow melt and the rain, just turns into a muddy mess, unfortunately, on Friday. All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful night. Thanks for joining me for this weather update. Of course, you can catch me coming up at Newsnight at 10 on Fox 9, Newsnight tonight at 11. Always make sure to stay tuned in the mornings as well with Chief Meteorologist Jeff Exline. Join him for Newsnight Sunrise midday. Give you that weather update tomorrow morning as well. And up until that point, make sure to stay tuned tomorrow evening. We'll be right back here, give you another weather update, as at that point, we'll be tracking any lingering snow showers and a further look as well. Of course, we'll keep an eye on that rain for your Friday as well. Thanks so much, guys. Have a wonderful night.